Well, hello, DCO Nation. Welcome to DCO Live. We're breaking down everything saltwater inshore kayak fishing, from seasonal patterns, tactics, and techniques to help you hook up on more fish. This show airs every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram Live. So drop your questions in the chat, and here we go. Well, hello, DCO Nation. Welcome back to another DCO Live. Guys, I appreciate you jumping on. Steve is on. Tony is on. Guys, I am going to apologize right up front because I still have just this, nagging cough from being sick last week. So if I cough, clear my throat quite a bit, guys, I apologize, but I think you can probably hear I'm still just a little bit froggy. I'm not sick at all. It's just that I have a cough. So we're going to try to make it through for as long as I can. Today hasn't been the best day with the cough. So we're gonna go and kind of battle on through this. So guys, again, I appreciate you jumping on. Remember, this is your show. So if you have any questions, comments, throw them into the chat box and I will get to them as they kind of pop up. But I want to kind of get through some of the tournaments and stuff that are coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So on March the 7th, the Saltwater Kayak Series has their Charleston stop. And that is going to be on March the 7th. On March 6th, Friday, March 6th, there is going to be a board check and a captain's meeting down in Mount Pleasant at the Crush Yard. All of this information can be found on Fishing Chaos. If you go to Fishing Chaos, it's already up. You guys can sign up for the tournament. It is a slam tournament. So slam tournament, for those of you who may not know, is you have to catch a redfish, a trout, and a flounder. So it's going to be a great tournament. This tournament is a boundary tournament. So you don't have to launch from one certain landing. Basically, excuse me, see, it's already starting. Basically, your fishing boundary is the North Carolina state line, to the south, the Georgia state line. The west boundary, you can't fish any further west than Bushy Park Boat Landing. And the east boundary is you have to stay inside the barrier islands, which basically means there is no beach fishing. So you can fish really the entire coastline of South Carolina for this tournament. But the only caveat is on March the 6th, you have to be at the captain's meeting. You got to be there. You got to have a board check, and you got to go to the captain's meeting, which is in Charleston. So Saturday, March the 7th, if you want to fish Murrells Inlet, you can fish Murrells Inlet. If you want to fish in Beaufort, you can fish in Beaufort, as long as you stay within that boundary. Okay. And again, all of those rules are up in Fishing Chaos. Now, the second tournament that is also on March 7th is the Low Country Kayak Anglers has their first redfish series stop. And that is it launches out of Paradise Landing on the Wando River. And so it is a redfish tournament, and it's 2 redfish is basically the limit. And I really like what they're doing this year. Low Country Kayak Anglers actually has I think it's 8 or 9 stops this year instead of the 4 or 5 that they usually have. So, but this is the first one of the year. It's out of Paradise Landing. Now, there is one caveat, because you can fish the Saltwater Kayak Series tournament and the Low Country Kayak Anglers tournament at the same time, but you have to launch from Paradise. So if you fish both tournaments, you have to launch from Paradise Landing on the Wando River. You can't fish up in Merle's Inlet and fish the Low Country Kayak Anglers Tournament. Okay, so if you want to fish both of them at the same time, you've got to fish out of Paradise. Okay, and then we have coming up on let me see, March the 15th, there is the benefit for Release Over 20, and it is called the Turn the Tide, and it's a oyster roast and chili cook-off, or not a chili cook-off, but an oyster roast. They're going to have chili there, and it is a benefit for Release Over 20. And I was fortunate enough to be one of the sponsors. I am a roasting sponsor, so I thought it was pretty cool to be able to be a sponsor for them. I think it's a great organization. I think you guys know how I feel about the organization and conservation in general. And so that is going to be limited to somewhere right around 150 tickets. So if you want to go down to Ondal, which is where this event is going to be held at, go get a ticket. I think all of the information is on releaseover20.org. Look for Turn the Tide tab up in the top of the webpage, and you can pick up your ticket, go down there, have some great fellowship, and really support a great organization. Or if you can't make it down there, you can always just make a donation. And excuse me, you can make that donation right there on the releaseover20.org website if you want to do that too. The last let me kind of scroll down here a little bit. The last tournament, gosh, guys, this is horrible. I hope nobody gets this crud. The last tournament that I want to talk about is the Grand Strand Saltwater Anglers Association, the 23rd or 24th annual flounder tournament that's coming up April 25th. So the cool thing about this year is there is going to be a kayak division. The rules and everything is going to be going live on Fishing Chaos here in the next couple of days. So you guys will be able to see all of the rules for that. But the kayak division is going to be a CPR event. So just like every other kayak tournament, it's going to be a photo catch release. And of course, you boat guys, you guys can get into it and do that too. So head over to Fishing Chaos here in the next couple of days and look for that and get signed up. I'm going to be reviewing these and keeping these in front of you guys for the next few weeks to a month, just to make sure that I am getting this information out to you guys. It's exciting to have these tournaments in our area, and I know that these directors and the sponsors, they put a lot into these tournaments, and I think it'd be great to have 250 boats, kayaks, whatever, in this tournament. And the both saltwater series events, we've got a great community of kayakers. So let's show up, show out, and really support these kayak series so that they keep coming back to our area. So again, guys, if you have any other questions or comments, throw them up there. Steve says, I need to make a hot toddy, Berman lemon honey. Already been drinking it. So, yep, I know it works, but yeah, man, it is, it's just one of those things. But as soon as I get off of here, I am going to have another one. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. But yes, I have been drinking them. Yeah, believe me, it is. I don't usually turn down a bourbon. So Again, guys, I apologize for the coughing, but let's kind of jump into kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. So I went out to the mailbox a couple of days ago, and you guys may have gotten the same thing, but I got the Bass Pro Spring Flyer. And I just, I was standing at my little breakfast bar, just kind of flipping through it. And I thought, you know what? I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of go through and just kind of see if there's any good deals in this thing. And there's definitely some deals that, that I think I'm going to check out. And I'm just going to go through just a few and, something that, you guys may be interested in. But one of them is the Yozuri 3D inshore baits are all 33% off. Now, this fishing sale, it doesn't start until March 5th. So we still have, week 10 days, before the sale actually starts. But I thought I would still just kind of go over it. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the inshore baits, the Yozuri 3D inshore baits are 33% off. Like the inshore twitch baits, they're usually between $10 and $12. And right now you can get them on sale for $6 to $8. I think that's a pretty good deal. The inshore top knock pencil, I don't know if the skitter walks are going to be included into this sale, but definitely something to kind of take a look at if you guys like the hard baits. Secondly, there was a ad for a Vanford A spinning reel, and it said starting at $284.99. And I thought to myself, that is a very specific number. So I jumped on the Shimano website to check out that exact same reel. And that exact same reel is the exact same price of Bass Pro. There is no savings. So there are things that are in here that is not going to give you any savings at all. So you could go to the Shimano website, pay $284. You can go to Bass Pro and spend $284. So there was no savings. It's the exact same price. So also kind of keep an eye out on things like that too. There is a Pin Battle 4 reel. You can save $30 on it. They're usually, when I looked it up, about $154, and you can get it for $124. So, if you're a pin guy and you like the battle series, $30 is actually a pretty good saving. So anytime that you can save more than just tax, that's what I'm looking for. And $30 is definitely more than tax. So you're probably looking at about a 20% savings if my math is about right. But the Pin Battle 4, you can save about $30 on. The Voodoo Shrimp, I know a lot of guys love to throw the Voodoo Shrimp. They are advertising 20% off. That's not too bad. Bass Pro is advertising, the regular price is $8.99 for that 2-pack. The 3.25, I think, was the shrimp that they were advertising. And you can get it for $7.20. Okay, it's decent, 20%. Again, if you're a Voodoo Shrimp guy, anytime that you can really save money on those, it may be a great time to stock up, go spend some money. If you guys still have some Christmas money left over, which I don't, that Voodoo Shrimp, I would go stock up on a few of those. The Seaguar Invisex fluorocarbon line, I'm actually going to go take a look at this because it is a regular price of $24.99 and it's on sale for $19.98. So, $5 for a 200-yard spool. I want to make sure that I get that in, that it is a 200-yard spool. So if you are looking for fluorocarbon line for your leader line, that's going to last you probably at least one season, if not two or three. 200 yards is a lot, especially if you're peeling off only, 2 to 3 feet of leader line to tie on to your braid. That's going to last you a while. And, for only $20 for Seagar in Vizex, I thought that was definitely worth mentioning. Plano Edge boxes are all 25% off. They're starting like the 3,700 box that I use. Boy, I've got something in my eye. The 3,700, the regular price is right at about $27 or $28. And now you can get them for 20 to 21. So saving $7-8 again. If you guys are looking for tackle organization, I love the Plano Edges. That's definitely probably worth, a drive up to Bass Pro or jumping online and ordering a couple of boxes. That's a pretty decent price. So check out the Plano Edge boxes. There is a kayak accessory that I am probably going to get and try out. And it is the Ascend seat back storage bag. Now, I have a storage bag from Yak Hacker on the back of my seat, and I have had that thing for probably an easy 3 years. And the saltwater on the zipper has finally trashed that out. It just needs to be thrown away. It's run its course. And this storage bag doesn't have any zippers. It's the clips and the buckles. It looks halfway decent. And the price was $14.99. So I'm going to go up and take a look at this thing, see what the quality is like, see what the construction of this thing is like. They say that it's waterproof. So I don't know. I haven't put my eyeballs on it. The only thing that I know is what I saw in the flyer. But I am definitely going to go up there and take a look at it. Now, this is actually a new item that Bass Pro is coming out with in 2026. So they didn't have this item last year, and it's going to be available, when the sale is March 5th. Okay. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to take a look at it, because if I can get a seat back bag for $15, I'm all about it. I am all about saving money. So kind of moving off of the Bass Pro flyer, I kind of started looking around at some other things that I like to use. And one of them is the ice strike fishing jig heads. I love the Texas eye stuff. The all of the ice strike bulk items that they have on their website, you can save 30% right now, which is a really good deal. I've got some bulk items over here. I've got, almost 50 some odd jig heads, all from 1/8 of an ounce to 3/16 to 1/4 of an ounce Texas size. And all of those, I think there's some roughly, I don't know, I'm going to say 54-ish jig heads over there. And I got them for $100. And if you want to stock up on jig heads and you guys like the eye strike, that's all I use. You guys know me. You guys have seen the videos. The trout eyes, the Texas eyes, that's what I use. That's standard for me. If you want to stock up for this year, go over to eyestrike.com, save 30%, and buy your jig heads in bulk. It is the only way to go. I mean, save yourself $40 and $50 for a big bulk order. So jump over there and check that out. I want to throw out a new product from Yak Attack. Couple of things just dropped, I think, within the last week or 10 days. And it is their Cup Holder Pro. And you're probably thinking, cup holder. Yeah, whatever. everybody uses their cup holders for everything from, putting their Procure in, or trash, or maybe their pliers, or when they cut their bait off, they throw it into their cup holder. This cup holder it's some kind of a hexagon. I can't remember how many sides are on it. It may be, 5 or 6 sided. I can't exactly remember, but they have some accessories for this cup holder. And the cup holder is $16, which I think is very reasonable, especially for Yak Attack, because Yak Attack stuff is just high quality. I love their stuff. And so, $16 for a cup holder, I think, is well worth it. But they have a trash top lid that fits on top of this cup holder. And this thing has plastic over the top with some slits in it where you can put trash down in it. And that little lid doesn't allow stuff to fly back out. Really cool idea. That lid is $10. So if you go with the cup holder and the lid, you're talking $26, which I think is super cool. They also have like a bait tray that you can hook onto the side of one of the sides of the cup holder. And, it's got some depth to it, so you can drop it in there. It has a tool holder that has, you can hook it onto another side. So you can have your bait tray on one side, the tool holder on another side. And it's got some slots in it for, your pliers, maybe some forceps or anything like that you guys may have, some cutters, whatever. So, and that tool holder and the bait tray, they're $6 a piece. Okay. So again, I thought it was really, really cool. Now, you guys who have the, excuse me, the Black Packs or Black Pack Pros or the short stacks, you can now get different colored hinges for these things. So they now have white and orange. So really cool look. They also have rod holders now, the tethered rod holders that are white. I think you can also get those in orange instead of just the standard black like I've got back over here. So, you can really customize your colors of your Black Pack Pros, which are really, really cool. Now, I do know that they are coming out with some different colors of the Black Pack. So there's going to be like some coral blue colors. I think they're going to do a white, and then they're going to start looking at like some kind of a camo dip, which is really, really cool. Now, I think that's going to be down the line, several months or maybe a year down the line. But, I follow them on Instagram, and they, have shown some of the prototypes and, really, really cool stuff. So, yeah, guys, so that's kind of all I had for that right there. But yeah, I thought it would be neat to just kind of go through, we start to see all of these sales, these spring sales, coming out, hitting your mailboxes. And as I was kind of walking through it, I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's talk about stocking up before the season really kicks off. Take advantage of some of these sales, some of the stuff that you guys constantly get and you're going through. You might as well save some money. You're gonna buy it anyway, right? So take advantage of it. Anthony said, your flyer is different from the one I got here in Ohio. None of the stuff you mentioned there is in mine. Yeah, so I'm sure that these flyers are going to be regional. With us being on the coast, we're probably going to have more saltwater stuff. But I think if you actually go to basspro.com, this stuff is going to be on sale on the website. They're just going to target, guys in the Midwest with more freshwater stuff. But I'm probably almost positive that if you go to the website, you can find the saltwater stuff and the kayak stuff. So, okay. But great question. I appreciate that. So before we jump off here tonight, let's just talk about the weekend forecast and the fishing that's going to be happening. I know I can hear, I'm sitting next to my window here in my office. It's raining right now, and I know it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, I believe. So, but then Saturday looks really good, and Sunday looks really good. So let's take a look at this is the Outdoor Radio Network app, the weather app right there, and this is Saturday. You can see I've got the tab pulled up right there at Saturday at 11 o'clock, and this is showing the wind speeds. And the wind speeds right now at Saturday at 11, they're calling for 6 miles an hour, gusts maybe 10. So, Saturday is going to be that 5 to 10 miles an hour for wind speed, which is going to be great to get out and do a little bit of fishing. So, guys, jump on the Outdoor Radio Network mobile app, click on the weather icon, and take advantage of the Windy app here and all of the other overlays that they have. I can't even remember how many, 40 some odd overlays for you guys, from, precipitation, wind, thunder, lightning, water temperatures, air temperature. I mean, it's all on there. And I love the Windy app. So let's look at the tides and what they're going to be doing. So Saturday, it looks like right about that noon time frame, whatever is going to be that low tide, and then move it up, about an hour on Sunday. So what is that, 140, something like that, 12:30, 140 for low tide. So this will set up really nice for the weekend. You don't have to get out there early in the morning. You can get out there at 10, 11 o'clock, take advantage of that lower hump of the tide and fish that incoming tide. So, as those mud bottoms kind of start to warm up a little bit, the water will flush back over that, and it will, kind of warm up the water a little bit. So I do want to mention something. I don't know if you guys heard my radio show that dropped on Wednesday. One of the things that I noticed a couple of weeks ago when I went out fishing was when I first got out on the water, the water temperature was about 47-ish, I think, if my memory serves right. Heath, I fished with Heath. Heath, I know you're on, so help me along if I get some of these temperatures wrong. But started off about 47 degrees. This was probably around 10:30, something like that, when we shoved off. And we made a little bit of a paddle to an area. And a couple hours into it, the water temperature got up to maybe about 53. That's kind of where it topped out. But the one thing that I noticed, was as soon as the tide started to come in, that cooler water started to mix in with the warmer water, and it actually dropped the water temperature back down to about 49 degrees. And I don't think I saw the water temperature hit 50. If it hit 50, it was when we were almost back to the landing. But I saw in the creeks, it actually dropped that water temperature. So as it started to mix back in with that warmer water, it dropped things down a little bit. Now, I tried to push up onto the flat as the tide was starting to come in, but the tide was not coming in very strong at all. It was a very slow moving tide. That tide only, it fluctuated maybe only about 3 or 3.5 feet that day. So it wasn't a big aggressive tide where, it was going to cover all of the oysters there on Weston Flats very quickly like it usually does. So I never had a chance to push up onto the flats to see if that mud bottom really did warm up that water. But In the creeks, it definitely dropped the water temperature. Okay, so it went from that 53 to about 49 to 50 degrees. So we ended up getting skunked out that day, but we saw fish. We were in the right area. We just couldn't get them to eat. So, guys, it is what it is. That is fishing. You guys know that. So, guys, we are definitely going to, because since I am still struggling and coughing again, guys, I apologize for coughing, but I'm definitely getting a lot better. Next week, hopefully, this is running course and I am back to normal. So, guys, I really appreciate you. If you guys are new to DCO Live, I appreciate you jumping on and give it a watch. Share it, like it, share it with your fishing buddies. Tell them about the show every Thursday. And yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will see you guys next Thursday at 8 o'clock. And tight lines, get out there, do some fishing. The weekend's going to be beautiful. I'll see y'all next week.